This is Mark Bell from supertraining.tv, Super Training Gym, the strongest gym in the West, answering more questions today for the Power Project. We are at like 955 videos, so we're just going to keep it rolling here at the Power Project and keep it going. We got a question today about box squats, and this question comes from David Tittle, who owns CrossFit Low Oxygen. I'll be out there doing a seminar November 10th and 11th with my boy, Jesse Burdick. We're still taking people, so look it up on CrossFit.com. Sign up for it today. It's in Colorado. It's in where the hell is it? It's in Frisco, Colorado is where it's at. So Frisco, Colorado, that's where that seminar is going to be. Anyway, his question's about box squatting. He wants to know, is the main concern to not have the knees come forward, or is it like, how important is it really to sit real far back on those box squats? I don't really like the term sitting back, because sometimes it gives someone a wrong cue, because ultimately in a squat you just need to go down. You want to go down more than back, right? You want to go down and you want to force your knees out real hard. You don't want your knees to come forward too much. However, in a raw squat, your knees are going to come forward, and if you're going to break parallel by a lot, then your knees are going to travel forward quite a bit. It's just the way it goes, just the way it is. But in terms of a box squat, what I want everyone to realize out there is that a box squat is much different than a regular squat. Now this, for a geared lifter, this is a little bit different. A geared lifter, someone who lifts in competitions with their suit, with a full suit on and everything like that, that type of squat, especially for multiply guys, that type of squat might look a little bit more like a box squat. However, a box squat, a regular box squat done properly, probably in most cases will not look like a regular raw squat. If I was to take Dan Green, who many of you have seen recently squat 800 pounds raw, and if I was to work with him on some box squatting, it would not look anything like the squats that you see him do now. Because the squats that you see him do now, his knees come forward quite a bit. So it would be a different movement. Does Dan Green need the box squat? I don't know. Could it possibly help him out? I would say yes. The guy's already strong as a beast, though, so it's kind of hard to say. He's already making a lot of progress by him, he's already making progress with what he's currently doing. And here at the Power Project, that's what we're always trying to teach you guys. If you're making progress, don't change anything. When you get results, no one can argue with those results, and keep it going. But in terms of the box squat, you got to sometimes just realize the box squat is a little bit different of an exercise, but you want to try to perform it properly. You want to try to perform it the best way that you can, and you really do need to push back into those squats and sit into that pocket. You want to try to have your knee back behind your, I'd say like your ankle. Your knee back behind your ankle when you're sitting on the box, if possible. I mean, that's kind of a tough position to be in. But if you can get there, then you're going to reap the benefits of box squatting by building up the hips, hamstrings, lower back. Louis Simmons, who is basically the founder of box squatting in some ways, I know other people introduced it long before he did, but Louis has perfected it. And Louis has worked with many, many people who have deadlifted 800 pounds and squatted over 1,000 pounds. And in seeing the things that I see at my gym as well, that when you can develop the ability to squat wide, and you can develop the ability to box squat properly, you can really build up a tremendous amount of explosive power. And that's the main thing here, is that's what we're after, is building up explosiveness, building up explosive power. I think sometimes people lose sight of what it's for, and sometimes people get a little carried away and they think they'll never do a regular squat again. I don't think there's any point in that. I think a box squat is valuable. I think a regular squat's valuable. I think an Olympic high bar squat's valuable. Low bar squat's valuable. Any type of squat, front squat, I mean, except for the overhead squat, because overhead squats are impossible and they're stupid. But most forms of squatting are going to be beneficial. It's just that you have to try to make sure that you're doing them properly. So again, in the case of the box squat, make sure you're sitting on the box. How long do you sit there? You sit, and as long as it takes you to get back up after you physically sat down on the box, that's how long you should be on the box. We get a lot of questions about how wide should I be. That was actually a recent question on the Power Project, so hopefully I'm killing two birds with one stone here. How wide should I be? How wide you should be is determined by your ability to get your knees out. You need to try to get your knees out to where your feet are. So you want to try to force your knees out, and you want to try to get your knees out to where your ankles are. And that's going to be the most optimal position in terms of the box squat. So hopefully that helps answer your question. And that is it from supertraining.tv. Later.